Hello guys, my name is Oriekaose Agholor. I'm a Robotics and Mechatronic Systems Engineering Honors major here at the University of Detroit Mercy, and I'm currently a graduating student. I'm a senior. Yeah.
You have finals coming up.
You?
How you been prepping for finals?
Man, yeah, it's been constant grind, one after the other. So I have multiple projects and multiple finals. So I'm trying to use this week to wrap up all my projects, and then I'm also going to do some studying. So I have a lot of questions from my professors headed into the finals week.
Has it been a quick 4 years? I know you're a senior.
Yes, compared to my secondary school back in Nigeria, I would say that yeah, it's been relatively quick. So I actually did 3.5 years here at Detroit Mercy. So I started the winter of 2022 at 17, and now I'm graduating at 20 in winter of 2025. So yeah, it's been pretty quick. Not the typical 4 years people do. It's been 3.5 years. Yeah.
What brought you to Detroit Mercy?
So I was looking for a mechatronics program. So I'm not necessarily passionate about specific like mechanical, electrical, robotics. I'm interested in the whole thing. Like, how can I have the necessary engineering skills required to make a product or technology that can help people, help solve problems, help people with their issues. So looking for a mechatronics program expands my knowledge and allows me to tap into these different engineering fields, and also knowing how those things work together, because no engineering system today is purely mechanical, purely electrical. From a rocket to an electric vehicle to your mobile phone, your mechanical and electronic aspects, and being able to have an integrated understanding is really crucial in this day and age.
How'd you find us originally?
I just Googled online mechatronics programs, and then boom, found the University of Detroit Mercy. And the cool thing is Detroit Mercy is one out of 2 schools in the whole country that has a robotics and mechatronics program. So certain schools have only a robotics program, certain schools have only a mechatronics program, but our school puts those 2 together. So it's a robotics and mechatronics engineering program. Yeah.
Has it been everything you expected?
Yes, it has. It's been awesome. I've taken different mechanical classes, different electrical classes, and I'm taking a mechatronics modeling and simulation class, which is really cool because you need the knowledge of the mechanical and electrical classes to really understand what's going on in this class. And we're learning really cool techniques on how to bridge those worlds together. So yeah, it's been what I've expected. Awesome.
Do you feel prepared to go into the work?
Yes, I do feel prepared because I've had 2 internships already. One was as a controls engineering intern with Young Fung Automotive Interiors in Highland Park, Michigan. And then one was last summer in California with Rivian, the electric vehicle company. And my experience here at Detroit Mercy was crucial in my success in both of those roles. So yeah, I feel absolutely prepared for the workforce.
So those co-ops were a big part of your education, you think?
Yes, they were. And that's another thing that brought me to Detroit Mercy. The mandatory co-op program was really what brought me here, because coming in here, being exposed to professional development sessions, the career fair, and other resources has really prepped me for the workforce. Because I know many people in other schools, they do not have this mandatory co-op curriculum, and some of them live college with only 1 or 2 co-ops, and I'm living here with 2, so I'm really grateful for that as well.
Have you lived on campus all 4 years?
Yes, I have. I've lived on campus all 4 years. I'm currently here in the South Quad for my senior year. So the quads is the area in which upper level students stay. So sophomore, junior, seniors, and then we'll be heading to Shifle where the freshmen stay.
What's your favorite part about living on campus?
I guess my favorite part of living on campus is really just being connected with the student community, because I've heard from a lot of commuters that lots of times they don't really get to really engage as much in the student life. And some commuters who end up staying on campus have told me that that was like a huge shift from commuting to staying on campus, because now they see the clubs, they see all the movie nights, they see all the cool stuff that really happens, especially the fun nightlife. Yeah.
What's your favorite place that you stayed? You stayed in a bunch of different ones,
yes. I guess. I'll say the quads is definitely one of my favorite dorms on campus, because they have two rooms, and then you get to share your own bathroom with your quad mates, compared to Shifle where there's more of like a public bathroom kind of setting for the whole floor. So that's one huge thing. So you really get to have that kind of privacy,
Okay. Talk about Shifle a little bit. Living there freshman year, what was it like?
Yeah, I think coming to Shifle was really fun. That was my first time in the United States, first time in a U.S. college, and I like the community-oriented nature of Shifle, because there's a whole floor, there's a huge lobby area with your seats and stuff. So usually, because I didn't want to stay alone in my room, because I didn't have a roommate, so I'll come and study in the public area. And because of that, people come like, oh hi, I didn't see you in the fall. Who are you? What's your name? And that was really awesome. Like I was making friends without even having to, move an inch. I really have to work towards doing that. So yeah, I really love the community-oriented nature of the way they designed chapel and the halls. Yeah.
How many friends do you think you made in that first month on campus?
Man, I think like halfway through the semester, my friends were like, we came here before you and you already know half the campus. So yeah, I made like 20 plus friends. Yeah, like it was amazing. It really helped like smoothing my journey and transition from Nigeria to United States. Really good.
And you're very close to your classes living on campus?
Yes. I really love the way University of Detroit Mercy is structured, so I can make it quickly to my classes without too much of a rush, too much of a hassle. And there are lots of times when I'm working on projects in the night, I can easily walk from my dorm to the engineering building. So yeah, I really love the small nature of our campus.
Had you ever been in the United States before you came to
No,
college?
I haven't been to the United States before. I've been to other parts of the world like Europe, I've been to France, been to Spain, but I hadn't been to the United States before. So it was like a completely new experience.
What was your first thoughts of Detroit?
I loved it because I hadn't seen snow in my life. So like stepping down from the plane landing in Michigan, I was like, finally, I can really connect. So I know many people are kind of sick and tired of the snow. It's really when they're driving, but for me, I love the winter. Just being able to play in the snow and just experience the whole thing.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite season in Michigan?
I would say people call me crazy. Well, I think the winter season is my best. I love seeing the snow. So yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite spot in Detroit?
My favorite spot in Detroit, I do like the Detroit Riverwalk. It's really beautiful, nice area. I see the rivers, the seas. You can walk up and down. Like the weather there is always really nice. And I got to do some kayaking in the river. A funny story. And we're kayaking, and then I was kind of like veering towards the Canadian border. They were like, come back. And I had to remember, I'm an international student. I don't want to lose my visa. I don't want to cross international waters. I had to kayak back. So yeah, that was really fun, really fun.
Do you have a favorite restaurant in Detroit?
I'm Nigerian, so I gotta give kudos to my Nigerian restaurants. So there are two, Fork in Nigeria and then Yum Village. So Yum Village is in downtown Detroit. Fork in Nigeria is relatively close to campus in like the Woodward area. Yeah, very lovely African and Nigerian dishes.
When you're eating on campus, what are you usually getting?
Yeah, I'm eating on campus. I usually grab Loft. So my best meal there is the crispy chicken sandwich. And then usually they have like this secret menu, so sometimes they don't put it on there. It's like spicy crispy chicken sandwich. So you have to like kind of know that it's there to ask. So yeah, I love that. And then usually with a side of chipotle fries as well.
Can you talk a little bit to how diverse the campus is?
Yeah, I'll say Detroit Mercy has a pretty diverse campus. People of different races, different religions, a decent good black community, decent Nigerian community. I've met different Africans from Kenya, from Ethiopia on campus, different people from the Middle East like Yemen, and even international students from even France and Spain. So yeah, Detroit Mercy has a good balance in terms of that, and even in terms of gender too. I think our campus has more females actually than males, like by a decent percentage. So yeah, really interesting. And then also in terms of religion too, we have a huge religious diversity as well, and then we have like many interreligious events that take place on campus too.
Talk a little bit about some of the clubs that you're involved in here on campus.
Yeah, so I've been involved in a decent amount of clubs here at Detroit Mercy. I actually founded the music club on campus. I also founded the badminton club on campus. And fun story, because of my workload and then founding two clubs, I couldn't lead the badminton club, so I kind of like had to hand it over to the fitness center. And then that actually became one of the most consistent clubs on campus. So it's like my prodigal child that succeeded. But yeah, the music club has done really well as well. Like there are times that people were calling us like the best club on campus. We performed for President Donald Taylor's inaugural dinner, and we actually got paid for that. We played for events off campus and on campus. So yeah, it's been an absolute blast connecting many people of different musical interests. Because even though I'm an engineer, I do music on the side. I sing, I produce music, make music videos, I play the sax. And then there are other people from the School of Business, School of Nursing, in computer science who play the electric guitar, who play the keyboard. So really seeing these people come from their different colleges for music has been phenomenal.
If you had to pick one, what's your favorite event on campus?
Ooh, my favorite event on campus. I'll say the international night because I am an international student, so really getting to bring not just international students, but the whole campus community together for that is really beautiful. And then also I get to blend in my association with the African Caribbean Studies Organization and also with the music club. So in the last international night, I performed with the music club some Afrobeat songs and people really loved it.
Do you have a favorite spot on campus?
I'll say my favorite spot has been the student union lower level. So I'm usually up. Despite how busy I am in terms of extracurricular activities, I do spend lots of my time studying, and like most people can really attest to that. Like I'm usually there at late hours, like sometimes 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. really studying and grinding. And I've actually made a couple number of friends from just studying late at night. So all the night hours studying for exams, working on projects, you'll see us there in the lower level. Yeah.
All right, so where are we right now?
Yeah, so we're currently in the high bay. So this is a wonderful space for working on different engineering projects across different disciplines. We have this space mostly used by the civil and architectural engineering majors. Then we have the rest of this space used by the electrical, computer science, and mechatronics majors. And we have some robotic spaces within here as well.
And is this a project of yours right here?
Yes. So it's one of the projects I've worked on. So for our hardware software integration course taught by Dr. Teba Mohammed, the chair of the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department, we worked on developing a teleoperable control system for controlling this vehicle wirelessly. So we developed the code, we integrated the hardware using Raspberry Pis, which are like mini computers, to interface with this system wirelessly using the robot operating system. So with a Xbox controller, we could wirelessly control and move this vehicle, steering, braking, acceleration. Really fun project, but really difficult as well. And the cool thing was that we actually got to present this to Senator Gary Peters and the former National Cyber Director Harry Coker Jr. when they came to visit, and they were really impressed.
How many hours did you spend on that project?
Wow, probably 5 to 10 hours working on this cumulatively, yeah.
Okay. Did you have was that your favorite one, or do you have another favorite project during your time as a student?
So this was probably one of my most tasking projects, but this is not my favorite project. One of my favorite projects was the one I did last semester in my sensors and actuators course. So for this project, I developed a wireless control gauntlet that when I wear enables me to control 3D objects spatially and also control my computer system wirelessly. So for example, I'm a teacher and I want to teach, so me going back to type or make a change to my slides, my PowerPoint, I can, wirelessly type, wirelessly control my mouse. And also, when you want to develop 3D objects, it allows you to create, it was like a proof of concept in which I can actually create 3D objects wirelessly and then also extrude them and control your 3D solids and all of that. Really fun. And an extra thing was we're also able to control a robotic hand wirelessly. So if I should flex my fingers, a robotic hand will wirelessly obey that flex and also flex as well. So yeah, really cool project.
Do you have a favorite spot in the engineering building?
In the engineering building, I would say probably the high bay. I spend lots of my time here, especially for my senior design project.
So what are your plans for after you graduate from Detroit Mercy?
So I'll be working as a systems integration and simulation engineering intern with Cinefox. It is a startup based in Michigan Central and ULab, the new startup ecosystem for innovative startups and technological companies. I actually got in contact with that company through the Gen Z Tech Talk that I was invited to, led by Mayor Mike Duggan, and it was really cool. Only a select group of students were invited. It was like a closed door session in which we were able to interact with the mayor and also get to connect with founders and VCs, and it was there that I met the CEO of Cinefox and I was able to get in contact with him. And since then, all is history now. So I'll be working with your team, working on the prototype and version 1 over the summer here in Detroit.
And as you kind of get down here to the final days as a student, what was your favorite part about being a student here at UDM?
I guess my favorite, it has to be both getting to work on cool interdisciplinary projects and also working with the students. Like it's been like without the student life, I don't know like how my experience would be on Detroit Mercy I've gotten to like work with so many different teams, so many different faculties, so many different organizations and clubs, so many different students, and getting to just, being able to interact with people no matter their race, their color, their religion has been really beautiful, and getting to learn from each and every one of these different groups of people and communities has been really awesome. So I'll say definitely that, yeah.
And where are we right now?
We are in the Autonomous Mobility Laboratory, so working on different robotics projects, autonomous vehicles, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. And the technologies enables bringing those types of technologies to fruition.
And is this one of your projects right here?
Yeah, so this is the senior design project for the electrical, computer, and robotics and mechatronic systems engineering students for this year. It is an autonomous robot which we intend to use to participate in the Intelligent Ground Vehicle competition. The name of this particular robot is Annie, short for Anomaly, just a cool name that we decided to use to name the robot.
And what was the brains behind that? What was the...
Yeah, so many things really go into this project. A lot of these things were like hand-built, designed, and developed by the students, from the mechanical frames to the 3D printed mounts and protections to the electrical wiring within the robots. Like everything was done, even to the power systems inside as well. Everything was developed by, most of it was developed by the students. And even here, this is really cool. This was like even this was designed in CAD and then even plasma cut with the help of the one of the engineering technicians, Thad. So yeah, really cool stuff. So that is in terms of hardware, electrical, mechanical hardware. Then lots of software development goes into this, the development of the control algorithms, movement algorithms. And I was the simulation lead for this project. So we're able to develop the algorithms and then simulate it and how it would operate and move before we then implemented it physically. So if it worked well in simulation, there's a decent chance that it was going to work physically with some modifications here and there, which saves us time, saves us costs, especially when the hardware was being developed. The different algorithms, for example, waypoint following, lane detection, object and obstacle avoidance, all that kinds of stuff could be tested in the simulation realm, even while the hardware was being developed, allowing us to do these things in addendum, and then allowing us to test our algorithms first, make lots of the tweaks, make the mistakes in simulation, and then implement it physically and then make some minor modifications.
When did you start this project?
So we started it last year in September. So we've been on it for about almost 2 semesters now.
So about a year long academic
project, yeah.
So can you tell us about the space we're in right now?
Yeah, so we're actually in the engineering and maker space. So here we get to work on lots of the hands-on prototyping and development for our projects, whether it's in the mechanical department, with the electrical and computer science engineering department. So we get to work and do lots of hands-on stuff here. Office with the help and supervision of Thad, one of the engineering technicians who's been instrumental. I had mentioned that we actually plasma cut one of the parts for our senior design project. So Thad was the one who really helped us to do that and achieve that. So kudos to Thad and to the engineering department for giving us this amazing space.
We talked about some of the projects that you've done. Like, do you have a favorite class during your time here as a student?
I'll say one of my favorite classes actually is, I'm taking it currently, is my Mechatronics modeling and simulation class being led by Dr. Shuvra Das. I really love it because it really gets to blend and integrate all the courses I've taken, my mechanical classes and my electrical classes, even robotics, and gets us to bridge those knowledge and those domains together. For example, I've learned how to come up with the differential equations and models for mechanical and electrical systems. In this class, I've learned of one technique that I can use to do that seamlessly for both mechanical and electrical domains, and for systems that have those both integrated together. And I'm currently working on a project using those techniques from that class. So I'm really loving and enjoying that class.
Do you have a favorite professor during your time here?
I love most and all of my professors. I really do love Dr. Das. We've worked closely together over the years. It's actually both him and Dr. Mohan helped establish the Robotics and Mechatronics Systems Engineering program here at Detroit Mercy. So I really do owe me being here and being part of this program to them. He's taught he's taught 2 of my 3 mechanical classes, and he's currently teaching my Mechatronics modeling and simulation class. And he's also the advisor for the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society that I mentioned and I'm a part of. and we've been on a trip together too. And he's been a very close friend and mentor of mine.
What's one thing you've learned about yourself in the past 4 years?
One thing I've learned about myself is that my impact does matter. The things I do and my actions, they do have weight. Because a lot of times I do try to give advice and I do try to help people out, but sometimes we may not feel as if it's really impacting lives. But about 2 days ago, we had this senior send-off, and so one of my friends that I met in Shakpo, she told me that, something I told her about 2-3 years ago has stuck with her since then. And I didn't even remember when I spoke to her about that. It was about, being kind and nicer to her friend. And she said that has really helped shape her worldview. And she just told me about 2-3 years after. So it does show that my actions, my words, and the things I do really do leave a good and lasting impression on people, which is really encouraging so that I can keep helping people, keep being a person of impact in people's lives as well.